So it turns out that Kamala Harris might not have been using a teleprompter at her town hall with Univision that happened a few days ago. If you guys just saw my video that I recently posted about this, detailing this, well, there's been some updates on Twitter. On all the community notes on Twitter right here, we're going to see a bunch of information that shares that it really wasn't Kamala's teleprompter. It's itsSeanDaniel here. Thank you guys for watching any of my previous videos. If you have, now let's get into it. So right here on Twitter with the community notes, for those of you who don't know, community notes is a thing where everyone in the community of Twitter can add verifications, notes, or context about posts that are put out there, and they're really useful a lot of times. Here they say, this video is edited to a lower resolution. In high definition, both screens show the same Spanish text. Y ahora vamos con. Now, when you go to the HD version that's linked in this community note, I have it listed at 1080p HD. I cannot read what is on that teleprompter. I'm going to let it play through without the audio because Univision is crazy with copyright. But look, I mean, look how blurry that is. It's not in focus. And then it goes out where they turn off the screen. But I can't read what that says. They even linked a Google Translate right here of what is supposedly visible on that screen. Y ahora vamos con, and now we go with, I can't believe they linked a Google Translate. But the Spanish moderator from this show said in a tweet that the prompter displayed my introduction in Spanish, and then it switched to a timer. Any claim to the contrary is simply untrue. And then the program's producer, Daniel Coronel, said that's not true to the claim that Kamala was using a teleprompter during her town hall. The teleprompter that displays a text written in Spanish was a support element for the town hall moderator. I can tell you this with firsthand knowledge because I was in charge of the television program. And there's many other publications sharing this information that right-wing influencers falsely accuse Kamala Harris of using a teleprompter at town hall. Maybe they're talking about me. Am I an influencer yet? Hopefully. CNN does the same thing where they fact-check it. They even fact-checked Trump, who recently at his rally last night said, Did you, wait, let me do the Trump accent. Did you see where she did a town hall yesterday and she used a teleprompter? I never saw a town. They never, you don't use teleprompters, we don't use teleprompters, period, pretty much. You don't use them for town halls. That was probably terrible, but this makes you guys appreciate Trump's real accent compared to mine. But the CNN in here talked about how the text was in Spanish, it was for the moderators, it wasn't for Harris, which would make sense why the teleprompter shut off as we got right into Kamala Harris, and it turned off because they didn't need it there anymore. This is what's being reported on Twitter. Now, people in the media, and especially liberals, be like, oh my God, the Republicans are so conspiratorial. I'm probably going to have to bleep that word because I don't want it on here with YouTube. But they're so making up stories, let's say, right? Well, it's not like we got this out of thin air. And it's not just because Kamala Harris has a bunch of word salad moments where she can't seem to come up with a comprehensible or comprehensible answer to even some basic questions about why she's different than Joe Biden, what she's even going to do for the economy. But our speculation as to whether she actually used a teleprompter not only stems from that, how she obviously would probably need a teleprompter, but also from this that happened at the presidential debate. We saw Kamala Harris wearing these earrings that were massive little bulbs on them, and it raised a lot of questions, not only because we know from experience that Hillary Clinton, who's a Democrat, got fed debate questions beforehand, and we all probably guessed that Kamala got the questions beforehand as well, but she has these huge earrings on, which are actually, allegedly, the Nova H1 audio earrings. They look like this. There's different versions out there. There's a version just like this, which kind of looks similar to the one that Kamala Harris was wearing. they kind of look similar to these, and you just never know, especially the way that she cannot put answers together. And she's wearing them continually. She wore them in the 60-minute interview. It doesn't mean that that's what it is, okay? We don't know, but when we combine the fact that she can't really put answers together, she's wearing these things. So I just wanted to give you guys that update and help you see that maybe that's not the case, what we were sharing in the previous video. But, I mean, I wouldn't put it past her, because you look how she answers questions like this, the most basic questions. Obviously, she's going to try to get any help she can. And we know the media and her are totally corrupt.
Vice President, you just laid out your economic vision for the future.
Yeah.
But still, there are lots of Americans who don't see themselves in your plans. For those who say these policies aren't for me, what do you say to them?
Well, if you are hardworking, if you have the dreams and the ambitions and the aspirations of what I believe you do, you're in my plan. You know, I have to tell you, I really love and am so energized by what I know to be the spirit and character of the American people. We have ambition. We have aspirations. We have dreams. We can see what's possible. We have an incredible work ethic.
And when you compare the speculation that we put out compared to a lot of people on Twitter, they say, did you watch the entire town hall? She was literally looking at the audience the entire time. Okay, but you never know what they're going to do to try to prop her up. We've seen the court cases. We've seen her get every single interview that she wants. We've seen her avoid doing a town hall with Fox News. She won't do interviews with Fox News. She just started doing this whole media run only a couple weeks ago, whereas before she would not take questions at press conferences. She wasn't doing big interviews. That's why this interview that I was trying to show before was this was her first one, and it was only a couple weeks ago. And she'd been running for a while then. She was really hiding from reporters. So the idea that she might have done something shady with a town hall, it's not that far-fetched. But according to these community notes and all the information that we have, she was not using the teleprompter, but instead the hosts actually were. But that's really a bad look on her part, the fact that we can even start to think that she might be doing something shady. You know, it's not like we pulled this out of thin air. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe. It's Sean Daniel, and I'll see you in the next one.